Right now, something is shifting in the unseen currents around us. October 13th is not just another day, it carries a subtle power, a portal quietly opening for those who are ready. For centuries, sages and monks have marked this day as a moment when energies align in rare and profound ways, a time when awareness can deepen beyond the ordinary. Today, you will feel the gentle yet undeniable pull of this energy, guiding you toward a higher clarity. In this video, we will explore how to recognize this awakening, how to move in harmony with it, and why only the truly attuned will sense its subtle presence. You will discover teachings rooted in Shaolin wisdom, insights on self-mastery, and mindful practices that reveal truths hidden in the quiet spaces of life. Some call it a portal, others a shift, but all agree it is a call to those who are awake. You will learn why inner stillness, disciplined attention, and alignment with natural rhythms can unlock doors that remain invisible to the restless mind. We will reflect on ancient philosophies that connect body, mind, and energy, uncovering lessons that rarely reach the surface of everyday awareness. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand the significance of October 13th, but also feel equipped to honor the energy it brings. The subtle signs, the inner signals, the quiet nudges, they are invitations to awaken deeper layers of yourself. Welcome, seekers, to Shaolin Soulfire. Here we explore the quiet power within, the mastery that arises from stillness, and the wisdom that moves silently but profoundly. Stay with us until the end and let this energy guide your steps. Subscribe now and step into the path of inner clarity and awakened perception. True strength begins in silence, where the mind is still enough to hear its own heartbeat. In the quiet chambers of the Shaolin Temple, monks move with purpose, yet their every action is guided by an unseen harmony between body and mind. This is not mere training of muscle or endurance. It is the cultivation of resilience woven through awareness, patience, and clarity. Every stance, every breath, every motion is a conversation between what is within and what is around. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the body cannot be mastered without the mind, nor can the mind flourish without the body. Discipline becomes the bridge. It is not harshness, but a gentle insistence on showing up again and again with honesty to oneself. A master does not chase perfection. Instead, they cultivate attention, observing each thought, each impulse, and learning to act with precision. In this way, mistakes are not failures. They are lessons waiting to be understood. Patience is another teacher. The path of self-mastery is slow, often imperceptible to those looking for immediate results. Yet in the slow cultivation, the mind learns to resist distraction, the spirit learns to find calm in chaos, and the heart discovers the quiet joy of alignment. Living without self-deception is the final test, facing the truths we often hide, seeing our shadows clearly, and still choosing to act from integrity. When these elements come together, mastery is revealed not as power over others, but as freedom within. The monk who moves effortlessly through rigorous forms has not only trained the body, but has trained the mind to bend, adapt, and endure. The energy of resilience and peace radiates naturally, like ripples in still water, touching all that surrounds it without effort. This is the Shaolin way, a life refined through presence, tempered by patience, and guided by the unwavering light of self-awareness. Every breath carries a lesson, yet so often it passes unnoticed. In the quiet halls of the Shaolin Temple, each movement, each step, is an act of complete presence. Monks do not rush, they do not linger in the past, nor do they chase the future. Their awareness rests entirely in the now, where the smallest detail holds significance. To walk, to breathe, to strike with intention, these are not ordinary actions. They are gateways to understanding the mind and the self. Mindfulness begins with noticing, with paying attention to what is happening inside as much as what unfolds outside. A monk lifts a hand, not simply to perform a form, but to witness the alignment of muscle and thought, the rhythm of breath, the subtle shift of energy. This constant attention cultivates a mind that is steady, calm, and aware, even when chaos encroaches. It is in this clarity that insight arises, an understanding that the present moment is the only place life truly exists. Discipline and mindfulness walk together. Presence is not a fleeting gift, but a practice, repeated endlessly until it becomes natural. The mind learns to rest without wandering, to observe without judgment, to act without distraction. In these moments of full attention, the body and spirit align, and inner peace emerges effortlessly. From this practice, a deeper connection to life is revealed. Small actions carry weight, words become intentional, thoughts lose their power to control. The world slows, yet awareness expands, allowing the subtle energies of life to be felt, understood, and respected. This is the essence of Shaolin mindfulness, a constant return to now, a devotion to clarity, and the quiet mastery that comes when mind, body, and spirit move together as one. There is a subtle strength in yielding, a quiet power in allowing life to be as it is. In the teachings of Shaolin, acceptance is not surrender, nor is it weakness. It is the deliberate act of facing reality without resistance, of seeing oneself clearly and others without the weight of judgment. To accept is to release the burdens that cloud the mind and weigh upon the spirit. Anger and resentment are like chains, binding the heart to the past and to illusions of control. The monk who walks the path of inner mastery observes these emotions without becoming them. When conflict arises, when expectations are unmet, the choice is made not to fight the currents, but to flow with them, finding clarity in the quiet between impulses. This practice does not erase difficulty, but it transforms how one moves through it. Acceptance demands discipline. It requires the courage to confront one's own shadows, to recognize where pride, fear, or stubbornness resides, and to meet these elements with honesty and patience. Through this process, the mind becomes a calm mirror, reflecting truth without distortion. The energy once wasted on resistance is redirected toward growth, understanding, and presence. Ancient Shaolin wisdom teaches that freedom is not found in changing the world outside, but in mastering the inner landscape. When the heart lets go of resentment, when the mind releases its attachments, space is created for peace to dwell. Life's challenges remain, yet they no longer disturb the stillness at the center of being. In this quiet strength, one discovers that acceptance is not passive. It is a disciplined, conscious practice that opens the door to profound inner freedom and the serene power of the awakened spirit. Discipline is not born from desire, nor does it follow the rise and fall of emotion. It is a quiet force, steady and unwavering, that guides the actions of those who seek mastery over themselves. In the Shaolin tradition, discipline is cultivated not as a tool for control over others, but as a pathway to freedom within. Each day, each practice, each choice becomes a test of alignment with one's deeper values, independent of fleeting moods or external distractions. True mastery is revealed in moments when the mind resists, when the body tires, when the heart longs to give way to impatience or fear. The monk moves forward, not because it is easy or pleasant, but because integrity calls for it. Acting from values rather than impulses transforms ordinary effort into a refined practice of presence. Patience emerges as a companion to discipline, teaching that growth unfolds in rhythm with life, not according to the impatience of desire. Honesty becomes both mirror and guide. To act without self-deception is to see clearly where one falters and where one thrives, to recognize the illusions that bind thought and the excuses that weaken resolve. Discipline without honesty is empty, it becomes rote action devoid of understanding. When both are present, every step, every breath, every action becomes a deliberate expression of inner truth. Ancient Shaolin teachings emphasize that the world will rarely align with expectation. External circumstances fluctuate, yet the path of inner mastery remains constant. By cultivating discipline beyond feelings, one discovers a resilience that cannot be shaken, a clarity that cannot be clouded. This is the subtle power of self-mastery, a strength that moves silently through the mind and body, carrying the practitioner through challenges with unwavering calm and the quiet confidence of one who walks in harmony with their own principles. Life unfolds like a river, flowing in patterns both visible and hidden. Harmony is not found in forcing the current, but in learning to move with it, to understand the subtle interplay of its forces. In Shaolin practice, balance is more than physical alignment. It is the integration of mind, body, and spirit. Every action, every thought, every intention has weight, and true mastery comes from recognizing where energy flows freely and where it is blocked. Observation becomes the first step. The practitioner watches without judgment, noticing the tensions that arise within, the habits that pull the mind toward distraction, the restlessness that unsettles the body. This is not passive watching, but active awareness, a dialogue between the self and the forces that shape it. Each imbalance is an invitation to learn, to adjust, to refine. Introspection follows observation. Through reflection, patterns emerge, patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior that reveal the inner rhythms of life. The Shaolin monk learns to correct these gently, not through force, but through mindful practice. A breath becomes a tool for realignment, a posture, a mirror of internal equilibrium, a decision, an act of conscious harmony. Balance is not a static state, but a living practice. The energies of life shift constantly, and harmony requires responsiveness, patience, and clarity. In this awareness, one discovers that extremes are destabilizing, and moderation is the natural path to strength and serenity. Through disciplined attention, the mind becomes calm, the body resilient, and the spirit attuned. Life's challenges no longer pull one into chaos, for the inner current flows steadily, guided by awareness and nurtured by practice. In the quiet mastery of balance, the self becomes whole, and the subtle harmony of the universe resonates within, reflecting the timeless wisdom that Shaolin teachings have preserved for centuries. Strength is often measured by what is seen, yet the deepest power is invisible, quietly holding shape within. Self-control is the manifestation of this inner strength, the ability to act from awareness rather than impulse. In the Shaolin tradition, it is cultivated not through force, but through consistent practice, patience, and the careful observation of one's own mind. Each moment of restraint becomes a lesson in understanding the currents of thought and emotion that surge beneath the surface. The monk who trains in self-control learns to respond rather than react. Anger may rise, desire may call, fear may whisper, but the mind, tempered by discipline, chooses its course deliberately. This does not suppress life's natural rhythms. Rather, it channels them, allowing energy to flow in ways that strengthen clarity, focus, and presence. Every breath, every movement, every decision becomes an exercise in refining the balance between impulse and awareness. Consistency is the teacher. Self-control is not revealed in moments of ease, but in the storms where the mind is tested. Each repetition, each mindful pause, each conscious choice builds resilience, forging the character of one who can navigate chaos with calm and clarity. Through practice, the body learns endurance, the mind learns patience, and the spirit discovers freedom from its own unrest. Ancient Shaolin philosophy teaches that mastery over the self is the true measure of power. External challenges will always arise, yet the practitioner who embodies self-control remains balanced and at peace, untouched by the turbulence around them. In this quiet strength, action is precise, thought is clear, and presence is complete. Self-control is not merely a skill, it is the reflection of inner harmony, a testament to the depth of awareness and the enduring power of a mind aligned with its highest intentions. Breath is the silent rhythm that carries life, yet so often it moves unnoticed, shallow, and hurried. In Shaolin meditation, every inhale and exhale becomes a thread connecting mind, body, and spirit. The breath is observed, guided, and refined, not as an act of control, but as a doorway into presence. Each careful inhalation draws energy inward, each mindful exhalation releases tension, clearing the channels through which life flows. In the quiet of practice, the breath becomes a teacher. It reveals the hidden turbulence of the mind, the restless currents of thought, and the subtle strains of the body. With awareness, these can be softened, harmonized, and brought into balance. The monk who masters this rhythm discovers that the mind grows still, that emotions no longer dictate action, and that energy circulates freely, enhancing both vitality and resilience. Discipline lies at the heart of breath practice. Regular attention to breathing trains patience and presence, building the capacity to remain grounded amid distraction. The smallest lapse in focus becomes an opportunity to return gently and consistently to the rhythm of life within. Over time, this practice purifies not only the body but the spirit, dissolving stagnant energies and awakening a calm clarity that supports all other aspects of mastery. From an ancient perspective, breath is more than air. It is the bridge between the physical and the unseen. It carries prana, chi, the subtle force that animates all living things. Through meditation, one learns to move with it, to guide it, and to align with it. In this alignment, stress diminishes, vitality deepens, and the inner landscape opens, revealing the quiet power of awareness. The breath becomes both anchor and compass, grounding the practitioner in the present while guiding the unfolding of inner mastery and the serene strength of a disciplined, awakened life. In the quiet hours before dawn, the rhythm of routine begins to unfold. Each movement, each repetition carries intention and purpose, transforming the ordinary into a practice of presence. In Shaolin philosophy, rituals are more than habit. They are the framework through which discipline and mastery take root. They guide the mind, steady the body, and nurture the spirit, creating a life where every action becomes an extension of inner alignment. Rituals provide an anchor amid the shifting currents of daily life. The same simple practices, repeated day after day, train the mind to return again and again to focus and awareness. A morning posture, a mindful breath, a deliberate gesture, these are not empty motions, but the scaffolding of inner strength. Through them, the practitioner cultivates patience, persistence, and the subtle art of acting with intention. Routine shapes not just the hours, but the character. When practice becomes woven into the fabric of life, teachings cease to exist only on the cushion or in the hall. They move into the world. Discipline learned in repetition flows into decisions, reactions, and relationships. The steady return to practice fosters clarity and calm, preparing the mind to navigate challenges without losing balance. From an ancient perspective, rituals honor the connection between human life and the rhythms of nature. They create a space where the fleeting and the eternal meet, where small, consistent actions generate profound transformation. In this way, mastery is not achieved in sudden leaps, but through the quiet devotion of daily practice. Each repetition, each ritual is a reminder that discipline is not a burden, but a path, a living bridge that carries the practitioner from the ordinary toward a life aligned with purpose, awareness, and enduring inner harmony. There is a world that moves quietly beneath the surface, a subtle current that most never notice. Those who walk the path of awakening learn to feel it, to sense the shifts in energy that ripple through the air, the body, and the mind. It is not something that can be grasped with the eyes or measured with tools. It is known through presence, through the quiet attentiveness of a mind trained to perceive what is often invisible. The awakened understand that every thought, every emotion, every movement carries its own vibration. In Shaolin practice, awareness of these energies is cultivated through discipline, breath, and stillness. The body becomes a sensitive instrument, capable of detecting tension, imbalance, or harmony long before the mind registers it. This perception is not mystical. It is a form of deep listening, a refined attention that grows from consistent practice and self-mastery. Awakening is also an inward journey. Sensitivity to energy reveals hidden currents within, patterns of thought and feeling that shape behavior and perception. By observing these subtle forces, the practitioner learns to guide them with intention, to harmonize what is scattered, and to release what no longer serves. This awareness nurtures growth, clarity, and understanding, allowing one to navigate life with discernment rather than reaction. From an ancient perspective, energy is the language of the universe, and attunement is the bridge to wisdom. The subtle perception of its movement brings insight into cause and effect, harmony and imbalance, presence and distraction. With each moment of mindful awareness, The awakened refine their connection to themselves, to others, and to the world. They move not against life, but with it, guided by currents invisible to most, yet undeniable to those who have learned to listen, to feel, and to move with the quiet power of awakened perception. The path of Shaolin wisdom reminds us that true mastery begins within. Through discipline, mindfulness, and acceptance, the mind and body can find balance, the spirit can find calm, and the heart can move with clarity. By observing life with presence and embracing the subtle energies around us, each challenge becomes an opportunity to grow, each moment a chance to awaken deeper understanding. October 13th is more than a date. It is a gentle call to realign, to practice these teachings, and to allow their quiet power to guide your daily life. Let this day inspire reflection, patience, and harmony, turning ordinary routines into mindful practices that nurture strength and serenity. Carry these principles into each day. Pause, breathe, and observe. Let your actions be deliberate, your mind calm, and your spirit open to the subtle rhythms that shape life. In doing so, you cultivate inner freedom, resilience, and the peaceful confidence that comes from self-mastery. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If you feel the value of these teachings, join our community at Shaolin Soulfire, like, subscribe, and continue exploring the quiet power within. May your journey be steady, your awareness deep, and your spirit aligned with the timeless wisdom of the Shaolin path.